1 week after I spent $94,000 on my eldest daughter's fairy tale wedding, the photographer sent me a single encrypted voice note that made my blood freeze solid. Mr. Caldwell, I found something in the wedding photos that will make you question every single second of the last 30 years. Come to my studio tonight. Come alone. Whatever you do, do not tell Olivia. And if you're listening to this story right now, smash that like button and comment, "I'm not ready for this," because what I'm about to show you will destroy every father alive. The actual phone call came on a dead silent Wednesday morning. I was alone in my home office overlooking the Sonoran foothills, nursing black coffee and staring at quarterly reports I didn't really need to read anymore. Richard Caldwell, 63 years old, owner of Caldwell Building Supplies, 5 locations stretching from Mesa to Tucson. A small empire I built with my own hands, 18-hour days, busted knuckles, and 42 years of never taking a real vacation. The house was finally quiet for once. No shouting, no demands, no feet on my furniture. Just the low hum of the AC and the occasional cactus wren outside the window. Peace I thought I had finally earned. Unknown number flashed on my phone. I almost let it go to voicemail. "Mr. Caldwell." The voice was barely above a whisper, trembling like the man was about to break down. "This is Marcus Holt. I shot Olivia's wedding last Saturday. There's something in the pictures. Something unforgivable. You need to see it in person. Tonight, my studio in Tempe, 9 p.m. sharp. Please come alone. And please don't mention this to your daughter or anyone else in the family." My fingers went numb around the ceramic mug. What kind of something? I can't explain over the phone. Just come. I'm so sorry." Before I could push him further, my youngest daughter's voice detonated from the kitchen like a grenade. "Dad, I told you 4 times already, I need the Escalade replaced. This 2019 is literally mortifying when I pull up to brunch with the girls. Are you even listening to me?" Tyler's lazy, entitled laugh drifted in from the theater room. Feet propped on my $8,000 ottoman, watching the 75-inch Dold he never contributed a cent toward. I barely heard my own voice telling Marcus, "I'll be there." That evening, I drove east on the 202. Marcus's studio was a converted warehouse in the Tempe Arts District. The sign just said, "Holt," in brushed steel. He was waiting at the glass door, looking like he hadn't slept in days. The second I stepped inside, he locked it behind me. Hands trembling so badly he dropped the key twice. "I almost deleted everything," he whispered, leading me past walls covered with perfect frozen smiles from hundreds of weddings that weren't mine to a dark editing suite lit only by the cold blue glow of a 5K. I sat here 5 nights straight debating whether to call you. My wife told me to stay out of it. But if it was my daughter, I'd want to know. He clicked once. The huge screen filled with the wedding every guest had called the event of the decade. Olivia, glowing in a $22,000 Vera Wang gown with hand-sewn crystals. Grayson in his custom midnight blue tux that cost more than most people's cars. 600 guests. Champagne towers. A 10-piece band. Fireworks timed to the first dance. $94,000 I paid without blinking because my eldest was finally, supposedly, happy. Then Marcus opened a hidden folder labeled Raw Garden Balcony, 1 hours, 47 minutes. Pre-ceremony. The first photo hit me like a sledgehammer, straight to the sternum. Grayson, my brand new soon-in-law, pressed hard against a brunette woman I had never seen before in my life. Not a cousin. Not a childhood friend. Not a polite hug. His mouth was on hers, her arms locked around his neck. Her left hand clearly visible, platinum wedding band and a 3-carat emerald-cut diamond that definitely didn't come from the ring I helped Olivia pick out. Timestamp, GPS coordinates, lens data, everything embedded and unalterable, Marcus said, voice cracking. This was taken 1 hour and 47 minutes before he stood at the altar and promised to love Olivia forever. He clicked again. 12 more photos. Different angles. Same woman. Same hunger. Same wedding ring on her finger. In one shot, Grayson's hand was sliding up the slit in her dress. In another, she was laughing into his neck like they'd done this 1,000 times. Before Dot, in the final frame, you could clearly see the woman's face, beautiful, mid-30s, smirking like she owned the moment. Marcus handed me a matte black flash drive, original RAW files, full metadata, forensic check. I've made 4 copies in case, well, just in case. Do whatever you have to, Mr. Caldwell. I'm so sorry. I drove home gripping that drive so hard the plastic edges cut into my palm. The house I returned to was no longer mine in any real sense. Tyler was sprawled across my Italian leather sectional barking for another White Claw from my own fridge like he paid the mortgage. Ava was upstairs, screaming on FaceTime about Botox, appointments and filler packages I apparently owed her for emotional damage. And somewhere in a $6 million home in North Scottsdale, my newlywed daughter was sleeping beside a man who had betrayed her, betrayed all of us before the string quartet even tuned up. That night, I discovered something infinitely worse than an affair. I discovered both my daughters had been running a cold, calculated, years-long con, and I was the only Mark who still believed in the word family meant anything at all. It started small, so small I never noticed. The joint checking account, Grayson and Olivia, opened exactly 58 days before the wedding, not when they got engaged 2 years earlier, not when they booked the venue 58 days, perfectly timed to receive cash gifts only. It continued with the gift table I personally paid to off-duty cops to guard, $97,000 in envelopes and checks. Olivia had texted me the total herself the very next morning with crying laughing emojis. Dad, we're so blessed. Everyone was so generous. I thought she meant love. She meant profit. Then came the phone call I overheard 4 nights after the wedding. I was bringing in grocery bags from the garage when Ava's voice floated down from the upstairs landing, speakerphone on maximum volume, like always. Liv Dad's acting a little weird lately. But don't stress. Tyler and I can stretch this another 10 months easy. By then, he'll either buy us the loft downtown or croak and leave us everything. Either way, we win. Olivia's laugh was pure venom. Perfect timing. I've got 11 more weeks of playing perfect wife. Then I file. Grayson already agreed to 70/30ths on the gifts. His little side piece doesn't even know she's just the alibi. Easiest 97 grand we'll ever make. My knees nearly buckled on the marble stairs. Ava again. Just to keep him distracted. Make him think you need something massive, like the down payment on that 6-bedroom in DC ranch. That way my new Escalade doesn't look greedy. By comparison, they laughed together like it was the best joke ever. Told I backed down the hallway, silent as a ghost, heart hammering so loud I was sure they'd hear it too. Daughters. 2 predators wearing the faces of the little girls I used to push on. Swings. That night, I didn't sleep at all. I sat in my office until 5 a.m. pulling every thread I could find. Joint account opened April 29th, the gift spreadsheet. Olivia emailed me herself. The guest cottage Ava and Tyler had turned into a free luxury resort for 4 straight years. No rent, no lease. Separate entrance, my groceries, my utilities, my silence. My blindness. By sunrise, I had 3 full legal pads covered in dates, dollar amounts, direct quotes, and a rage so clean it felt holy. At 8:30 a.m., I was sitting across from Jonathan R. Whitaker, the most feared estate and eviction attorney in the state of Arizona. 20-8 minutes later, I signed a $9,200 retainer to do 4 things. Draft ironclad 30-day eviction notices for Ava and Tyler. Transfer every single asset I owned, house 5 stores, retirement accounts, investment portfolio, into an irrevocable trust that would give my daughters the state-mandated minimum and not 1 penny more. Accelerate everything so it would be locked before they even smelled smoke, make the entire structure completely bulletproof. Whitaker looked me dead in the eye. This will end your relationship with your children forever. I slid Marcus's flash drive across his mahogany desk. They ended it the day they decided I was a walking ATM instead of a father. Friday morning, exactly 9 days after the photographer's bombshell, 2 thick cream envelopes arrived by courier from Whitaker's office. Official seals. My name, embossed in raised black ink. Inside each envelope, a single sheet of heavy letterhead that read, in plain, merciless language, 30-day notice to vacate no lease EXS Richard Caldwell. Owner property address, 4211E, Camelback Mountain Drive, Paradise Valley. AZ2, Ava Caldwell, and guest Tyler M. You are hereby notified that your permission to occupy the premises is terminated effective immediately. You have 30 calendar days to vacate. That evening, the house smelled like garlic and red wine. Tyler had decided to treat everyone by ordering $280 worth of Italian takeout on my Amex Black. They were sprawled in the theater room, shoes on my sofa, laughing at some Netflix special. When I walked in carrying the 2 glasses of water I had no intention of drinking, I set the envelopes on the marble ottoman like live grenades. Ava picked hers up first. "What's this, Dad?" "Some kind of joke." "Read it out loud," I said. She did. Her voice started confident, then cracked halfway through. By the time she reached failure to vacate will result in forcible removal by the Maricopa County Sheriff. Her face had gone the color of old paper. Tyler snatched his copy, scanned it, and laughed. Actually laughed. "You're bluffing. You'd never kick out your own daughter." "This isn't a negotiation," I said. "It's a courtesy required by Arizona law. 30 days. Start packing." Silence thicker than the desert heat. Then Ava's tears started. Right on schedule, big, perfect crocodile tears she'd perfected since middle school. "Daddy, how can you do this? I'm your baby girl. You stopped being my baby girl the day you turned my guest cottage into a free Airbnb and started planning how to bleed me dry after I'm dead." Tyler stood up slowly, 6'5", 240 pounds of unemployed muscle. He took one step toward me, chest puffed the intimidation, move he'd used 100 times when he wanted extra cash for car mods. I didn't move. "Everyone's gonna know what kind of father throws out his own kid," he growled. "Everyone's gonna know what kind of daughter laughs about scamming her father for." 97 grand, I answered. 30 days. He took another step. I saw his fists clench. From the hallway came Whitaker's voice, calm, amused. "Mr. Caldwell, I took the liberty of waiting outside. If Mr. Tyler lays a finger on you, I'll have him arrested for assault and trespass in the same breath." Tyler froze, looked over my shoulder, saw the attorney in his 3-piece suit holding up his phone, already recording. Ava screamed, "This is insane. You can't just—" "I can," I said, and I did. Clock's ticking. That night, the war began in earnest. Day 2, my $1,200. Espresso machine accidentally fell off the counter and shattered into 1,000 porcelain pieces. Tyler shrugged when I walked in. "Oops, slippery hands." Day 4. Ava stood at the back fence crying to our neighbor, Mrs. Goldstein, about her abusive, senile father who's lost his mind. Mrs. Goldstein gave her a hug and later sent me a text. "Richard, if you need anything, I'm here." Day 6. Olivia showed up unannounced with a woman in a navy blazer who introduced herself as Dr. Patel, geriatric psychologist. They sat on my sofa and tried to convince me I was showing early signs of cognitive decline and should consider a conservatorship for my own protection. I asked Dr. Patel for her license number, wrote it down, and told them both to leave before I called the medical board for practicing without patient consent. They left in under 4 minutes. Day 9, Ava tried the private confession play. She knocked on my office door at midnight, eyes red, voice small. "Can we talk? Just us." I let her in. She sat, folded her hands like a repentant child. "Tyler corrupted me. He made me lazy, made me entitled. I see it now. If you give me one more chance, I'll leave him tomorrow. I'll get a job. I'll pay rent. I'll be the daughter you deserve." The performance was flawless. If I hadn't heard her laughing with Olivia on that phone call, I might have believed it. I let the silence stretch until it hurt. Then I said, "If you'd really changed, Ava, you wouldn't have come here bargaining. You'd have packed your bags and left Tyler tonight without asking for anything. But you're still trying to trade tears for real estate." Her mask slipped. The tears stopped like someone flipped a switch. "You're going to die alone," she hissed. "Better alone than bankrupt." I answered. She slammed the door so hard the frame cracked. Day 12. I scheduled the family intervention dinner. I texted all 4 of them. Saturday, 7 p.m. My house. "We're having dinner and settling this like adults. Bring nothing but yourselves." They arrived smelling victory. Olivia wore the diamond earrings I bought her for graduation. Grayson wore the smug smile of a man who thought money fixed everything. Ava wore a new dress that still had the tag's tucked tag. Tyler wore basketball shorts and the same arrogance he moved in with. I cooked nothing. I ordered from my favorite steakhouse $780 worth. Set the dining table with the good china I hadn't touched since their mother's funeral 15 years ago. We ate in silence for 12 minutes. Then Olivia, started the diplomat, spoke first. "Daddy, we've all been talking. This house is way too big for one person. The pool, the yard, the maintenance, it's a burden. Maybe it's time to downsize. Sell, move to a nice condo in Kierland, and the proceeds could help everyone get started, properly started. Ava and Tyler could buy a place. Grayson and I could pay off the new house faster. Everyone wins." Grayson nodded like a good puppet. "Market's hot right now, Richard. You'd clear 3, maybe 4 million easy." Ava chimed in, soft voice, fake concern. "We just want what's best for you." "Dad." I wiped my mouth with a linen napkin, reached under my chair, and slid the thick manila folder across the table. "Before we talk real estate," I said, "there's something you should see." Olivia opened it. 10, 11, 14 glossies, spilled out like playing cards. Every incriminating angle, timestamps, glowing. Olivia's wineglass slipped from her hand and shattered on the hardwood. Grayson went the color of spoiled milk. Ava gasped so hard she choked on her fillet. "Oh shit." I leaned back. "While we're being honest," I said, "I also overheard the phone conversation where you two," I pointed at Olivia and Ava, "laughed about scamming me for $97,000 in wedding gifts and splitting it after the divorce." Olivia found her voice first, ice cold. "You spied on us." "Speakerphone, at full volume in my own house," I said. "Hardly spying." Grayson tried charm. "Richard, it was cold feet." "A stupid mistake. Cold feet doesn't wear a wedding ring that isn't my daughter's." I said. Silence. Then I continued. "The irrevocable trust was executed, notarized, and funded yesterday morning. Every asset, house, business, accounts, all of it, now sits in a spendthrift trust managed by a professional trustee. Upon my death, you each receive the Arizona statutory minimum, $28,000 apiece, and not 1 cent more. The rest goes to veterans' housing, charities, and the local animal shelter." Olivia stood up so fast her chair fell backward. "You can't do this." "I already did." Ava started screaming. Tyler started cursing. Grayson tried to negotiate. Olivia threatened lawsuits, conservatorship, elder abuse claims. I stood, picked up my plate, and walked to my office, locked the door, turned on noise canceling, headphones, let them scream through the walls. I could hear the chaos for 40 minutes. Then car doors, slamming, engines revving, tires squealing out of my driveway. They thought the war was over. They had no idea it had only just begun. Day 17 of 30, the house had turned into a war zone, disguised as a luxury. Resort. Ava stopped pretending to look for apartments. Instead, she spent entire days on the pool deck, manifesting while Tyler blasted rap music loud enough to rattle the windows. They ordered Postmates 3 times a day on my card until I froze it. My wine fridge went from 42 bottles to 6 in 4 days. My golf clubs mysteriously disappeared from the garage, only to reappear on Facebook Marketplace for half price. Listing deleted. The second I screenshotted it, Olivia went nuclear. She filed an emergency petition for guardianship, conservatorship, claiming I was exhibiting acute onset dementia and was being financially exploited by unknown parties. She attached a 3-page affidavit from the same Dr. Patel who had shown up uninvited. Now suddenly, an expert witness, Whitaker laughed when he read it. "Standard playbook," he said over coffee at his office. "They're trying to freeze your assets before the trust fully funds. We expected this." He counterfiled that afternoon. Motion to dismiss, plus sanctions for frivolous filing. Attached Marcus's photos, the gift spreadsheet, and a sworn declaration from me detailing the overheard phone call. The judge scheduled an emergency hearing for day 2-3. Olivia lost her mind when she got served at her Pilates studio. She called me 47 times in 1 hour. I let every call go to voicemail. The 48th was a text. "You will regret this for the rest of your miserable life." I screenshotted it and forwarded it to Whitaker. Found me in the garage detailing my truck. "You think you're tough now, old man?" He stepped close enough. I could smell the weed on him. Keep pushing, and we'll see how tough you are when you're eating through a straw. I didn't look up from the microfiber towel. Threaten me again, I said calmly, and I'll have you arrested for felony terrorist threats. Arizona takes that seriously. 10 years minimum. He hesitated. I could see the math running behind his eyes. 10 years versus my money. He backed down. That night they threw a party. 30 strangers in my pool. Red Solo cups floating in the water. Someone puked in the outdoor kitchen sink. Music until 4 a.m. I sat in my office with the door locked, noise-canceling headphones on, watching the security cameras I'd had installed the week before. Day 2-1, Ava tried seduction next. Knocked on my bedroom door at 2 a.m. wearing one of my late wife's silk robes. I can't sleep. I'm so scared. Can I just lie down with you, like when I was little? I opened the door, holding my phone, already recording. Get out of my bedroom, she tried the tears again. You used to love me. I still love the little girl who used to bring me dandelions. That girl died somewhere along the way. This stranger in my wife's robe. I don't know her. She spat in my face and stormed out. I showered for 20 minutes. Day 22. The hearing. Olivia showed up in a conservative navy suit, hair in a bun, looking every inch the concerned daughter. Grayson stood behind her in a $5,000 Tom Ford suit, hand on her shoulder like a supportive husband. Whitaker wore a shark's smile. The judge was a 71-year-old Marine veteran who'd seen every trick in the book. Olivia's attorney started with the usual script: sudden personality change, isolation, large financial transfers, possible undue influence. Whitaker stood. Your Honor, may I approach? He handed the judge a thick binder. Exhibit A, Marcus's time-stamped photos. Exhibit B, bank records showing the joint account opened 58 days pre-wedding. Exhibit C, screenshot of Olivia's own text bragging about the $97,000 haul. Exhibit D, audio recording legally obtained in my one Particon sent home of the phone call where Olivia and Ava laughed about the scam. The judge's eyebrows went up exactly once. Olivia's attorney tried to object. The judge shut him down. Counsel, are you seriously arguing before this court that your client is a victim while simultaneously admitting on tape to defrauding her father? Case dismissed with prejudice. Olivia ordered to pay my legal fees, $18,400. She screamed in the hallway outside the courtroom. Reporters from 3 local stations caught it on camera. That night she posted a tearful TikTok. My abusive father is trying to steal my inheritance. It got 1.4 million views and 87,000 comments, calling me every name in the book. I didn't care. The trust funded at 4:57 p.m. that same day, every asset locked forever. Day 24, Tyler tried one last power move, came into my office at 11 p.m. Holding a baseball bat. You're going to sign this house over to Ava tonight, or, I swear to God, pressed the silent alarm I'd installed. 47 seconds later, 3 Paradise Valley PD cruisers rolled up silently. Lights off. Tyler spent the night in jail. Ava bailed him out at 6 a.m. with the last of the credit card. I hadn't yet canceled. Day 26. They stopped pretending. Ava sat on the kitchen island eating my groceries and announced, We're not leaving. You'll have to drag us out. I smiled for the first time in weeks. That can be arranged. Day 28, I invited them to one final dinner. Same good china, same cloth napkins. This time I cooked myself filet mignon, garlic mashed. Asparagus. They arrived suspicious but hungry. We ate in silence until dessert. Then I placed 4 new envelopes on the table. Inside each, a single sheet to Olivia and Grayson. Notice of intent to sue for fraud, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and civil conspiracy. Demand letter to follow. To Ava and Tyler, final 48-hour notice. Maricopa County Sheriff will execute lockout at 8 a.m. Day 30. Olivia laughed. Actually laughed. You're bluffing. You don't have the balls. I stood. 8 a.m., bring trash bags. I walked away. That night, they partied like it was their last night on Earth, because it was their last night in my house. Day 32, 7:43 a.m. I pulled into my driveway at exactly 7:43 a.m. Behind me, 2 Maricopa County Sheriff SUVs, 1 unmarked Whitaker car, and a 26-foot U-Haul I'd rented myself because I knew they wouldn't pack a single box. Deputy. Morales, same officer who'd served Tyler 2 nights earlier, stepped out first, hand resting casually on his duty belt. Morning, Mr. Caldwell, ready to get your house back. Never been more ready in my life. We walked up the stone path together. I knocked once, politely. Inside silence, then frantic whispering, then Tyler's muffled voice, "Go away. You can't do this." Morales' voice boomed through the door like thunder. Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, this is a lawful eviction. Open the door in 10 seconds or we enter by force. That becomes criminal trespass with felony penalties. 37 seconds of chaos. Later, the door cracked open. Ava's face appeared, mascara already streaked, hair wild. Wearing one of my old dress shirts like a nightgown. "You're really doing this?" she whispered. "I really am." Morales pushed the door wide. The smell hit us first. Stale beer, weed, and something that might have been vomit. The living room looked like Coachella, and a tornado had a baby. Red Solo cups everywhere. Pizza boxes stacked like Jenga. Someone's thong hanging from the chandelier. The white marble island in the kitchen was covered in empty White Claw cans and what looked like cocaine residue. Later confirmed by the deputies, Tyler stood in the hallway in nothing but boxers. Chest puffed, fists clenched. "You're making a big mistake." Old man Morales didn't even blink. "You have 2 hours to remove personal belongings only. Clothing, toiletries, documents. No furniture, no appliances, no fixtures. Anything left behind at 9:43 a.m. becomes property of the homeowner." Clock starts. "Now!" Ava screamed. 2 hours! We have 4 years of stuff." "You had 30 days, I said. "You chose to party instead." What followed was 2 hours of the most beautiful chaos I've ever witnessed. Ava ran from room to room in hysterics, stuffing designer purses and shoes into black trash bags, while fake sobbing loud enough for the neighbors to hear. Tyler threw Xbox consoles, Jordan boxes, and protein powder into duffels with such force one bag split open and spilled. Pre-workout across my TRAVERTINE. At one point, Ava tried the baby voice again. "Daddy, please." "Where are we supposed to go?" "Same place every adult who doesn't pay rent goes," I answered. "Anywhere but here." Tyler tried to sneak my 75-inch TV out the front door. Morales stopped him with one raised eyebrow. "That stays." Tyler dropped it. The screen cracked. He didn't even flinch. Olivia leaping out still in yoga clothes, screaming, "You can't do this to my sister." Morales blocked the doorway. "Ma'am, this is an act of eviction. Step back or you're under arrest." Grayson tried the rich boy charm. "Officer, there's obviously been a misunderstanding." "No misunderstanding," Morales said. "Court order is crystal clear." 9:27 a.m., they were down to the last loads. Ava stood in the foyer, holding a single Louis Vuitton duffel. Tears suddenly real for the first time. "You're really throwing your own daughter out on the street." "You're 32, I said. "The streets is a choice you made every day for 4 years." She looked around the foyer one last time. Eyes landing on the family photo from 2008, me, their mother, 2 little girls with gap-toothed smiles. For 1 second, I thought I saw the real. Ava flicker behind the mask. Then Tyler grabbed her arm. "Come on, babe. Let's go." They walked to their cars. Ava's Escalade, which I'd already reported, repossessed that morning, and Tyler's dented Charger with expired tags. Ava turned at the threshold. "You'll die alone, Dad, and when you do, we won't even come to the funeral." I smiled. "I've already prepaid cremation. Save you the trouble." They drove off. Tires squealed. Middle fingers out windows. 9:43 a.m. Exactly. Morales handed me the final paperwork. "Property is officially yours again, Mr. Caldwell. If they return without written permission, it's felony trespass." I shook his hand. "Thank you, Deputy." Whitaker clapped me on the shoulder. "Most satisfying eviction I've ever attended." They left. I stood alone in my silent, trashed, perfect house, and for the first time in 15 years, I cried, not from sadness, from relief. I spent the next 3 days cleaning, hired a crime scene cleaners for the kitchen island. New locks, new alarm codes, new fridge. They'd taken every condiment. I threw away 17 trash bags of their garbage, donated 20 more to Goodwill, and burned the thong from the chandelier in the fire pit while drinking a 25-year scotch. Day 3-4, Olivia filed for divorce, exactly on schedule. The $97,000 in wedding gifts. Gone. Eaten alive by 2 sets of lawyers arguing over who defrauded whom. Venmo requests for $25,000 with the memo for your trouble. I declined and blocked. Ava and Tyler moved into a 900-square-foot apartment in West Phoenix. Tyler got a job at a vape shop. Ava started an OnlyFans her first post. Kicked out by my own father. Helped me rebuild. Made $400 in the first month. I didn't watch. Day 45, Marcus, the photographer, texted, "Coffee tomorrow." My treat, we met at a little place in Scottsdale. He brought his wife, Laura. We talked for 3 hours about everything except the wedding. Turned out, Marcus played guitar in a classic rock cover band. I told him I'd always wanted to learn. He said, "It's never too late." Day 5-2, I bought a Taylor 814 CE, booked weekly lessons with a guy who used to tour with Stevie Nicks. First song I learned, Landslide. I played it on the terrace at sunset, fingers bleeding, grinning like an idiot, day 63 years old, and finally doing something just because. I wanted to. Day 68, Olivia called from a blocked number. I answered, "Dad." Grayson cleaned out the rest of the gift money. I'm broke. I need help. Just 20 grand to tide me over until the divorce settlement. I listened to her cry for 30 seconds, then I said, "No," and hung up. She never called again. Day 79, Ava texted a photo of her new studio apartment. Really a motel off the I-17 with the caption, "This is what you did to your own daughter." I didn't reply. Day 92, I volunteered at the hardware store on Saturdays, teaching veterans how to build furniture. One guy, Carlos, lost both legs in Fallujah, told me after class, "You're different now, Mr. C. Lighter." I told him about the guitar. He grinned and said he played harmonica. We started a little duo. Play at the VFW on Thursdays. Day 119. Marcus and I were having coffee again when he said, "You ever think about dating?" I laughed for the first time in years. Thought about it. Haven't ruled it out. He smiled. Laura's got a friend. I said I'd think about it. That night, I sat on the terrace with my guitar, playing Blackbird all the way through without looking at the frets. The desert wind was cool. The stars were sharp. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. Then I did. Mr. Caldwell. "This is Caroline Reyes from the animal shelter. You left your name for the senior dog program? We have a 12-year-old lab mix who needs a quiet home. His name is Buddy. He's had a rough life." I looked at the empty spot on the couch where Tyler used to sprawl. "Bring him tomorrow," I said. The next afternoon, Buddy arrived. Gray muzzle, cloudy eyes, tail wagging like he'd won the lottery. He slept on my bed that night. Didn't mind. 6 months after the eviction, the house is quiet every single day. The guitar leans in the corner. Buddy snores at my feet. The fridge has food I actually like. I play gigs at the VFW now. Carlos and I have a little following. Marcus and I meet Laura's friend next week. Her name is Alina. She teaches art to kids with cancer. She laughs at my jokes. Sometimes the phone still rings. I let it ring. The trust is ironclad. The locks are new. The silence is mine. They told me I destroyed my family. I didn't. I saved the only family member who still mattered, myself. 1 year after the eviction, the desert had never looked more beautiful. Every morning, at 5:47 a.m., the sun crests the McDowell Mountains and paints my terrace liquid gold. Buddy, now officially Sir Buddy of Camelback, limps out with me. Gray muzzle on my knee while I drink coffee from the same ceramic mug that survived the entire war. I am 64 years old, 23 pounds lighter, and for the first time in my adult life, I have 0 debt, 0 parasites, and 0 guilt. The stores run themselves under a manager I promoted last spring. I still go in on Wednesdays to walk the aisles, talk to customers, and teach the occasional Saturday clinic, but I leave at noon now. Because I can. Carlos and I have a standing Thursday gig at the VFW. We call ourselves the Desert Dogs. We play Clapton, Petty, and one original I wrote called 30 Days. The old veterans sing every word. Last month, we got asked to play the state VA convention. I said yes before I could talk myself out of it. Marcus and Laura have become real friends. We meet every other Sunday for brunch. Laura's friend Alina, we've been seeing each other 8 months now. She spent last weekend here. Buddy slept between us like a hairy chaperone. She laughed in her sleep when he snored. I decided that sound is my new favorite song. But peace doesn't mean the past disappeared. It just means I stopped letting it drive. Olivia, the divorce finalized 4 months ago. Grayson kept the Range Rover and the timeshare in Cabo. Olivia kept $11,400 after lawyer fees and a mountain of credit card debt from the Perfect Wife performance. She moved into a 600-square-foot apartment in Tempe. Last I heard, she's selling Arbonne and posting inspirational quotes about toxic parents. Her TikTok following peaked at 1.9 million hate watchers and then crashed when people realized the story only had one side. She sent me a letter 6 weeks ago, handwritten, 8 pages, blamed me, blamed Grayson, blamed society, blamed Mercury retrograde, ended with, "I hope one day you'll understand how much you broke me." I read it once, folded it neatly, and used it to line Buddy's food bowl the day the ink ran from his drool. Ava and Tyler, their relationship lasted exactly 7 weeks after the eviction. Tyler got arrested for DUI third offense and is currently finishing an 18-month sentence at the county jail in Esp. Ava moved 4 times in 10 months. Right now, she's living with a 48-year-old music producer in a rented double-wide outside Apache Junction. She still calls on my birthday and Christmas. Always the same script: tears, apology, request for just a small loan to get back on my feet. I let every call go to voicemail. I don't even feel cold about it anymore. It's just weather. The money, the trust, is a fortress. Whitaker sends me quarterly reports thicker than phone books. Every penny I spent building this life is now legally bulletproof. The charities will get the bulk when I'm gone, and there is nothing any judge on earth can do about it. I increased my personal spending allowance to $15,000 a month guilt-free and still can't manage to spend it all. Turns out, when you're not supporting 4 adults and their addictions, money piles up fast. I bought myself a 1969 Chevy C10 pickup, midnight blue, restored it with Carlos on weekends. We drive it to gigs with the guitars in the back and Buddy riding shotgun like a co-pilot. The guitar I'm good now. Not great, but good enough that strangers clap and mean it. My fingertips are permanent calluses. I have 12 original songs. One of them, Ghosts in the Guest House, went semi-viral on Reddit last month. Someone filmed us at the VFW Beer Garden. 4.2 million views. Comments range from "This hits different when your kids choose money over you too, sir. You dropped this crown." I read them when I need reminding I'm not crazy. Alana, she moved in 3 months ago. Quietly, no drama. 1 duffel bag and a box of art supplies. She turned the old guest cottage, yes, the same one, into her studio. The walls are covered with paintings of desert sunrises and an old man with a gray dog. She says they're all the same man. We cook dinner together every night. She laughs at my terrible Spanish. I pretend to understand her abstract art. Buddy follows her everywhere, like she hung the moon. Some nights we sit on the terrace, and I play whatever new song I'm working on. She closes her eyes and sways. When I finish, she always says the same thing. "Play it again, Richard." I always do. The call that almost broke MIT came 2 weeks ago, blocked number. I answered because Alina was in the shower, and I thought it might be the vet. "Mr. Caldwell?" A young voice, nervous. "This is Emma." I'm Olivia's daughter. "Your granddaughter." "I'm 7. My heart stopped. Olivia had never told me she was pregnant. The math said the girl was conceived during the Perfect Wife performance. "Hi, Emma," I said, voice cracking like dry earth. "Mommy says you're mean and don't love us anymore. But my teacher played your guitar video in class, and I told her that song is about my grandpa." She cried. "I just wanted to say, I think you sound nice, and I like dogs." I sat down hard on the kitchen floor. Buddy licked the tears off my face. "Emma, sweetheart, do you like ice cream?" "Yes." "Tell your mom if she ever wants to bring you for a visit, just you and her. My door is open. No tricks, no money talk. Just ice cream and Buddy." She whispered, "Okay," and hung up fast, like she was scared of getting caught. I haven't heard back yet, but the door stays unlocked on Saturdays, just in case. Some wounds scar over, some stay open. I'm learning to live with both. Tonight, Carlos and I play a benefit concert for the Veteran Suicide Prevention Hotline. Alina painted the posters. Marcus is shooting it for free. Buddy will be backstage with a little bandana that says security. I'll walk on stage with my tailor. Look out at a couple hundred people who showed up because they heard an old man finally chose himself, and I'll play the first chord of 30 days. And for 3 minutes, the entire room will sing the chorus back to me. I gave you 30 days to leave my heart, and you took 30 years to leave my soul. I still get chills every time. The song always ends the same way. I look up at the stars, strum the final chord, and say into the mic, "This one's for every parent who woke up one day and realized love isn't a blank check, and for every kid who might still be worth saving. The door is open, but the blank check is canceled forever." The crowd roars, but he barks once. Like he approves, Alina waits in the wings, holding 2 cold beers and the biggest smile I've ever seen. I walk off stage into her arms, and for the first time in my entire life, I am home. 2 years after the eviction, asterisk, 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 the night of the big show, the Arizona Veterans Memorial Coliseum is sold out, 6,800 seats. Carlos and I are headlining the annual benefit concert for veteran mental health. Marcus is shooting it for PBS. Alina painted the 40-foot backdrop that hangs behind the stage. A desert sunrise bleeding into an American flag made entirely of dog tags. I'm wearing the same midnight blue shirt I wore the night I served the eviction papers. Buddy, now 14, mostly deaf hips, like rusty hinges, backstage on a memory foam bed, wearing a tiny tuxedo vest that says retired security. The house lights drop. The crowd roars before we even walk out. Carlos hits the first chord of 30 days. 6,800 voices sing every single word back to us. Half the audience is holding up phone lights. The other half is crying when we finish. The place erupts so loud the rafters shake. I step to the mic, voice steady for the first time in public 2 years ago. I was a prisoner in my own house. Tonight, I'm the luckiest man on earth. This last song is for every parent who ever had to choose between being loved and being respected. I chose respect, and somehow, love found me anyway. I start the opening chords of the new song I wrote for Alina. It's called Second Sunrise. Halfway through the first verse, the side door opens. A little girl in a purple dress walks out holding Olivia's hand. Emma, 9 years old now, gap-toothed smile, holding a single dandelion. Olivia looks thin, tired, sober. No designer bag, no fake lashes. Just her. She mouths 2 words I can read from 50 feet away. I'm sorry. Emma runs. I drop to one knee on stage. Guitar, still strapped on, arms wide. She crashes into me like a meteor. The microphone catches everything. Grandpa, I brought you a flower. The Coliseum loses its collective mind. 6,800 people on their feet, screaming, crying, clapping. I hold her so tight, Buddy starts barking backstage in solidarity. Olivia stays at the edge of the stage, tears streaming, but she's smiling. Real smile. First one I've seen since she was 12. Alina walks out, hands Olivia a tissue, puts an arm around her like it's the most natural thing in the world. I finish the song with Emma sitting on my hip, one of her arms around my neck, the other waving the dandelion like a glow stick. When the final chord lands, the place explodes again. Later, backstage, it's quiet. Olivia stands in front of me, hands clasped like she's in church. I don't expect forgiveness, she says. I just wanted Emma to meet the man in the songs. The real one. I look at my granddaughter currently feeding Buddy pieces of my backstage sandwich. She already knows him. I say, Olivia nods, swallows hard. I'm getting help. Real help, not the Instagram kind. I've been clean 187 days. I believe her door's open on Saturdays. I say, just you two. No money talk, no lawyers. Ice cream and Buddy. She starts to cry again. This time, I let her. Emma tugs my sleeve. Grandpa, can we play guitar now? I hand her my tailor. She strums random strings and giggles when they ring out. Carlos takes a picture. Marcus wipes his eyes behind the camera. Alina kisses the top of my head and whispers, "Welcome to your second sunrise." Epilogue, present day, it's 5:47 a.m. again. Buddy passed last spring. Peaceful, in his sleep, head on my lap while I played blackbird. We buried him under the mesquite tree in the backyard. Alina painted his portrait. It hangs over the fireplace where the old family photo used to be. Emma spends every Saturday here now. She's learning guitar. Calls me Pop. Sleeps in the room that used to be Ava's. We leave the door open so she can run in if she has nightmares. Olivia is 412 days sober. Works as a counselor at the same rehab that saved her. Still no money from me, and she doesn't ask. She brings store-brand ice cream, and we eat it straight from the carton, while Emma plays fetch with Elena's new rescue mutt. Luna.Ava sent one letter from county jail. Tyler implicated her in something minor. Asked for bail money. I wrote back on a postcard, 30 days turned into a lifetime. I love you. Get clean. Then we'll talk. She hasn't answered yet. The store sold last month for $28 million. The trust donated every penny above living expenses to veteran housing and children's art programs. I kept the house, the truck, the guitars, and the woman who laughs in her sleep. Every Thursday, Carlos and I still play the VFW. Crowd's bigger now. They request Second Sunrise every time. I always play it, and every single time, right before the last chorus, I look at Alina in the front row. At Emma on the stool beside her, waving that same purple dandelion now pressed and framed. At Olivia in the back with her 18-month chip pinned to her jacket. And I sing the line, I added the night Emma ran to me on stage. I gave you 30 days to leave my heart. You took 30 years to find your way back home. But the door stayed open. And love was waiting when you finally showed. The Coliseum didn't roar that night. They stood silent for 10 full seconds. Then gave me something better than noise. Every person in the building turned on their phone light and held it high. A sky full of stars inside a building. I looked at my little granddaughter, my recovering daughter, my chosen family, on stage and off, and I finally understood the only truth that matters. Family isn't who bleeds you dry. Family is who shows up when there's nothing left to take, and chooses to stay anyway. I play the final chord. The lights come up. Emma runs to me again. I pick her up, guitar and all. And somewhere in the distance, Buddy's tail thumps once against the mesquite tree. Like he's keeping time, the desert morning breaks wide open. Another second. Sunrise. Mine. If this story found you at the right moment, drop a like, share it with someone who needs to hear they're allowed to choose peace, and comment the one line that hit you. Hardest, thank you for walking this mile with me. The door is open, but the blank check is canceled forever.